What's the most clever way you saved your own life? I left work late and got into the elevator alone and pressed the button for the lobby. Right before the doors closed, a man I didn't know slipped in and stood behind me wearing a security uniform. He smiled at me. Long day? I nodded without looking at him. I bet. You work late a lot, don't you? Like last Tuesday when you didn't leave until almost midnight. I turned around slowly. He was still smiling. You walked to your car on the third level of the parking garage, the white one with a dent on the back bumper. My heart was pounding, but I kept my face still. Do I know you? Not yet, but I know you, Mira. I know where your apartment is. I know the layout. I know your coffee order. I know you live alone and nobody's expecting you home tonight. He pulled out a knife and held it casually like it was a pen. This is usually the part where they scream or cry or beg, but nobody can hear you in here, so take your time. Then he put the knife against my neck. My mind was racing. I had maybe 30 seconds before this got worse. I needed to think of something fast, so I started laughing. He blinked. What's funny? Oh my god, I said, shaking my head like I was genuinely amused, feeling the knife shift against my skin. You really did your homework and you still missed it. That's actually impressive. Dad always told me he was stealthy, but I didn't know he was that good. His smile faltered. Missed what? You know what my dad does for a living? I leaned against the elevator wall like I wasn't scared at all. I'm guessing you think he's dead because that's what the records show. Heart attack, 2019, very sad. I looked him dead in the eyes. He's not dead. The man who died in 2019 was a cover identity. My father works for a private military contractor that handles extraction and asset protection for people the government can't officially help. His jaw tightened. You're lying. Maybe. But here's what I know for sure. I pointed at my jacket. There's a tracker sewn into my collar and one in my left shoe. My dad's team has been monitoring my location since I was 16 years old. The second you cornered me in here, it triggered a protocol. I pulled out my phone and showed him the screen. See that app? That's not Spotify. That's a panic beacon, and I pressed it about 30 seconds ago when you mentioned my car. I watched his eyes dart to my phone. Right now, there's a 3-man extraction team being dispatched to this building. They'll be here in about 4 minutes. Their standing orders are to get me out safely and neutralize any threat. I tilted my head. Do you know what neutralize means in contractor terms? He was gripping the knife tighter, but he hadn't moved. You're making this up. Am I? Here's what happens next. They're going to pull the security footage from this elevator and get your face. They're going to run it through systems you've never heard of, and by midnight tonight, they'll have your name, your address, your family members, your bank accounts, your entire life. I stepped toward him and he actually flinched. And then one night, maybe a week from now, maybe a month, you're going to wake up and there's going to be someone standing over your bed, and it won't be the police. His face was pale now. My father doesn't believe in the justice system, I continued. He thinks it's too slow and too soft. When I was 12, a man followed me home from school. Just followed me. Didn't even touch me. My dad found him 3 days later. I smiled at him. I never saw that man again. Nobody did. The knife was shaking in his hand. What do you want? I want you to put that knife away and stand in the corner until these doors open. Then I want you to walk out of this building and disappear from this city tonight and never come back. I checked my phone. You have about 3 minutes before my dad's team arrives. If I walk out of here without a scratch, I can call them off. Tell them it was a false alarm. You get to keep living your life. I stepped closer and looked up at him. But if those doors open and there's a single mark on me, there is nowhere on this planet you can hide. My father will find you. He will take his time with you, and he will make absolutely sure that nobody ever finds what's left. The elevator was silent except for his breathing. He was doing the math. Then he folded the knife and put it in his pocket and backed into the corner. When the doors opened on the ground floor, I walked out without looking back. I made it through the lobby and out the front door and around the corner before I collapsed against a wall and started sobbing so hard I couldn't breathe. Then I called 911. My father wasn't a black ops contractor. He was an elementary school teacher in Ohio who totally died in 2019. I don't have any apps on my phone scarier than Candy Crush. I made up every single word in that elevator, and it's the only reason I'm still alive. The police found the man 2 days later from the security footage. He'd done this to 6 other women in buildings across the city. I was the only one who walked away.